Look, it was either this or give in to the April Fool's patriarchy. And considering the video that played before this, and the fact that I really wanted to be successful, doing the latter was... it was not a good idea. Readers, Batman recently celebrated his 80th anniversary this past weekend, and to be honest, I'm actually quite surprised with myself that I held out doing anything about it here on the channel for as long as I did. And honestly, part of me actually did hold off, because I feel that I've already screamed in the ears of a lot of you readers that have been here since Jump Street, or you know, close to it, that Batman is definitely one of my top 5 favorite superheroes, and the one that initially got me introduced to the medium. But since the world isn't really giving me that many current topics to talk about, I originally figured that I'd share with you all my top 5 favorite Batman movies, since it was initially the medium that introduced me to him. Then I figured, considering all of the movies he's in that are currently out, and which ones out of those are actually good, that was too easy. Like, yes, a safe one to put on the list would be Batman Begins. A safe one to put on the list would be The Dark Knight. But when it comes to Batman movies, I feel that I really need to pull a Marie Kondo in this bitch and ask myself which ones really spark the most joy. Which ones mean the most to me? Which ones do I constantly rewatch? Which ones hold the closest place in my heart? And which ones help me initially develop my overall love for the character? Not just... which ones are the good ones? That's why for this installment of Readus Relives, I want to share with you not my top 5 favorite Batman films, but my top 3. Starting with number 3 and my overall introduction to the character, Tim Burton's Batman. I associate this movie with my overall existence a lot. Not only was I born a year before it came out, but it was also the very first movie I ever remember watching. The second being Richard Donner's Superman. And later on growing up, finding out that these two existed in the same universe was pretty much what solidified me as a DC Comics fan. This movie was also my initial introduction to Prince, who did the entire soundtrack for this bitch. And this will be the only time you'll ever hear me say, fuck Edgar Wright. But fuck Edgar Wright, that soundtrack was great. Fuck everything you heard, Party Man and Trust are still bops to this day, fight me bitch. But despite this movie being so close to my heart and introducing me to Bruce Wayne and Batman, part of the reason why it is number 3 and not number 1 now that I'm older is that it only showed one side of him and what he's capable of as opposed to every angle. Part of that had to do with Vicky Vale being the main love interest and how Kim Basinger portrayed her, but it gets better. And I say that mostly due to my number 2, Batman Returns. Batman Returns is so underrated, it's not even funny. No, seriously, I have more distinct feel-good memories with Batman Returns than I do with Batman, mostly because they did a better job at showing me the duality between Batman and Bruce Wayne. The attention that was given to the Penguin along with Danny DeVito's performance was pretty much my first exposure to sympathetic villains before what Sam Raimi did with Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man 2. And then, of course, there's Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman. And seeing Batman actually fall in love, not only for the first time in my opinion, but seeing him in love with someone who is just as damaged and believes it's too far gone as he is. And I have been eating that shit up ever since. This movie is pretty much the main reason why I truly believe that Selina Kyle is the only woman for Bruce Wayne, regardless of the relationship he had with his crazy-ass baby mama. And was initially stoked when I found out that Bruce and Selina were finally gonna tie the knot in the comics. Now, I know what you're thinking, but LaRon, if these movies made it to your list and not any of the Christopher Nolan movies, then which one is your number 1? Oh, that's easy. Batman, Mask of the Phantasm all day. Y'all, this movie is so good. Considering that this is attached to Batman the Animated Series and the overall Bruce Timm universe, I recently found out that this movie wasn't originally going to be released in theaters and was just gonna be straight to video, and I'm so glad that they changed their minds. I finally see Batman as a full-ass detective in this bitch. Andrea Beaumont and the genuine relationship Bruce and her have, even up till the end, made her a very good runner-up to worthwhile love interest for Batman. And I hate that it took her so long to become canon in the main DC comic universe. And beside good storytelling and being my first exposure to plot twist storytelling when it came to who the Phantasm was, this movie had the fucking gall to actually make me cry. That final Batcave scene, when Bruce is running up the ramp and he finds the locket. So now that you have a better understanding of which Batman movies mean the most to me, hopefully you can see why the character is still one of my top 5 favorite superheroes. But if you do want me to further explain, I plan on going in more detail why each of these 3 movies matters so much to me in the form of video essays later on down the line, especially since we're coming up to Batman 89's 30th anniversary. Then, you know, once we cross the $500 a month stretch goal over on Patreon, just putting that out there. But until then, readers, your homework assignment for the day. Write in the comment section below which Batman movies made it to your top 3. You know, if you like Batman. Patreon-a-thon is currently going on throughout the entire month of April. So if you want to qualify for giveaways and help financially support the channel, you can join my Patreon by clicking the card at the end of the video or in the link in the description box below, where you can also find a link to my merchandise store. Or if you prefer to give a one-time donation, you can find links to my PayPal and my Ko-fi account in the description box as well. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and every other Friday. But until then, this is Readus 101. Class dismissed.